Watkins from Your Black World, and I was thinking this morning about Michael Brown and what's going on with the situation in Ferguson as far as the protests and stuff like that. And what I really want to encourage people to really remember is that we're in an interesting era in our nation's history where information is transmitted more easily, and so therefore you see more of these kinds of rising ups that are occurring not just here but really around the world. I mean, you saw the Arab Spring and some other protests that have occurred that wouldn't have happened if it weren't for social media really sharing the message. And I think that's a good thing. I remember when the Gina Six thing happened, and I remember somebody telling me about it literally 8 months before the mainstream media caught up. So typically, the mainstream media is behind the eight ball when it comes to social justice cases. They also tend to be very selective in terms of it being very difficult to predict which case is going to take off, which one isn't. I don't know why the Michael Brown case stood out above all the other shootings that have occurred since then. My inbox has been filled with so many cases of police killing black men, and then also black men killing black men. Just last night in Chicago, there was a black 9-year-old black boy that was murdered. So black men are dying all over the country, not just in Ferguson. And I think that what I want to keep in mind, or what I want everybody to keep in mind, is that remember Ferguson is one town. That's one person, one situation, one police department. It's about 20,000 people there. Fixing the Ferguson Police Department may make you feel better, but really it's not making a big difference in the scheme of things because you've got departments that are 10 times the size of Ferguson, that are 10 times more corrupt, 10 times more black men are dying. And I think that we have to make sure we keep those at the top of the radar screen as well. Also, I think that we have to focus on longer term programmatic systemic solutions to this problem as opposed to allowing for this blow up of outrage that just dissipates. It reminds me of a fire of when you start a campfire with paper and the fire blows up really big and then it dies down and goes away. Well, we don't need to start fires with paper. We need to start fires with wood. We need things that are going to burn consistently for over the long term. And in fact, it needs to have nuclear energy, which will last much longer than wood and coal and gas and all this other stuff. And so my point here is that I want you to do something for me if you can. Go to, not even if you can, if you care about Mike Brown, if you care about black men dying in the street, you got to do this. Excuse me, October is the month of resistance against police terror and mass incarceration. Cornel West and Carl Dix, along with Michelle Alexander and Jerome McCory, they all reached out to me and told me about this long before Michael Brown died, because there were 1,000 other Michael Browns before Michael Brown. There will be 1,000 others after Michael Brown. And they basically said, we want October to be a month where we resist, where our churches are preaching against mass incarceration, where we're all engaging in marches and activism that fight against police terror, police brutality, mass incarceration, the militarization of the police force. All these things that are coming to play, all these symptoms that are showing in Ferguson are really part of a broader systemic issue. So to me, that's where you separate the real from the fad. The people that are fly-by-night activists who are excited and they just like throwing up their hands up, don't shoot. Every fad, you notice every protest now has some sort of symbolism attached to it that makes people feel trendy, like Trayvon. Everybody's wearing their hoodie, trying to look cute in their hoodie, and all this other stuff. Now with Mike Brown, everybody wants to put their hands up, and I think that's great. But you got to understand this: after the Gina 6 blow up took place and everybody got excited about that, nothing changed systemically. I mean, you helped maybe 4 or 5 people, but you didn't help all the other thousands and thousands of young people whose lives are in jeopardy. We got all mad about Trayvon, but after Trayvon was done and it was out of the media, nothing came out of that. Please, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Show me some substantive, meaningful legislative advancements that have occurred as a result of the Trayvon Martin protests. Show me something that has occurred to reduce the likelihood that another Trayvon Martin is going to die tomorrow. Show me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I can tell you this: we're getting excited about getting excited. We need to get excited about making things happen. And and this is just something that develops over time. I can say this, and I'll say this till the day I die. As much as we might criticize someone like, say, Russell Simmons for some of the things he's done that even I don't agree with. I mean, I don't roll with Russell on every issue. But I can say this, because of Russell's efforts behind the scenes against police brutality, police terror, mass incarceration, etc., the Attorney General literally made one of the biggest incarceration announcements in American history. And literally thousands of people are free and with their families now because of what Russell Simmons did. And this wasn't the first time he did it. He did it also when he came to Rikers Island too. So I'm not here to sign a blank check on anybody or say, oh, I agree with everything they say or everything they do. But I am here to say that we've got to really understand the difference between the fake and the real. You know, the talkers and the doers. We need to understand the difference between the Facebook activists and the real activists who are doing that day-to-day work. Which one are you? You can show me what you're thinking by going to stopmassincarceration.net. It's not my website. Cornel West and Carl Dick set it up, but I want you to support it. It's stopmassincarceration.net. And also we have a page, yourblackworld.net/endmassincarceration, yourblackworld.net/endmassincarceration. And you can join in the long-term fight on this issue and not just turn it off once the Mike Brown situation is out of the media. Because I can guarantee you in about 3 or 4 days, the media is going to quit talking about it. They're going to start talking about somebody else. The question is, are you also going to start talking about something else, or are you going to continue on this issue, which is really important for our community? Well, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless and have a wonderful day. I'm gone. Peace.